everyone. Welcome back to All Kinds of Advice podcast. For today's episode, we are going to be talking about Nene Leakes and Porsha. There seems to be some drama, unfolding between the two of them. And, we're going to be here to talk about it and go into it and dissect it and that sort of thing. But before I go into talking about it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Let's keep it growing and flowing. Thank you. Ooh, child. So I seen over the weekend, Nene Leakes came online and she was like talking about she was pretty much talking about Porsha and saying that, Porsha has, disappointed her because apparently Porsha and Nene were supposed to, do the show together. Both of them, were supposed to do a show, and apparently, Porsha pulled out from the show, and Nene's production team told her that they got word that Porsha did not want to be on the show if Nene was on the show. And she told the production, I guess the people that were like facilitating and managing everything, that she did not want to work with Nene because her and Nene has issues, and she just like she pulled herself away from it. She was not, oh my God, guys, like this is so messy. She was not, Porsha pulled out her, like Porsha didn't even like, Porsha probably signed the contract and everything, and then Porsha did not show up to work. So what I found was a bit like, it's disappointing, and obviously it's hurtful for Nene because she feels that some type of way because she came online and talked about it. But the fact that Porsha, had all intent to go on the show and then perhaps sign contract, yada yada yada, and then felt some sort of buyer's remorse. Porsha was not even showing up for the rehearsals. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's insane. So Nene goes, she went there, and like she went in for like a fitting and like rehearsals and stuff. And she keeps thinking that Portia's gonna show up, and they keep putting like someone like a placeholder, in Portia's spot. So Nene didn't know like that Porsha had pulled out from the show. And then, like, I guess eventually she came to the realization that, Porsha is not going to be doing the show. And her production company said, like, oh, Porsha doesn't want to work with you because, she stated that she had a lot of, like, issues with you. And Nene is, like, came online and she's, like, she's completely shocked. She's like, what issues do we have? And we know Nene is the type of person, like, she's not going to sort of back down. Like, she's always going to defend herself. She's always going to stand up for herself. So Nene was like, what issues are you talking about, sis? Like, what issues are you talking about? You are clearly lying. You and I don't have no issues. Yeah, we've had like petty things in the past, but me and you don't have no major or immense issue for you to pull out from a show. Like Nene was like, we're professionals at the end of the day. Whether we had minor issues in the past, this is about making money. Like, be a professional and put, your differences that you have with me aside. And Nene is pretty much alluding to the fact, like, I don't have no issues with her. Nene mentioned, she said that she has double dated on a countless amount of times with Porsha. Porsha was like in terms of what, like Simon, like she went on like a double date with Simon, Porsha, and Nene's boyfriend that she has. They all of them went on dates together. So she's like, okay, there's no way that we could have an issue if we're double dating. And I agree with her, like, whatever issues that she feels like she is harboring, I feel like, I don't like, maybe she's going through her things, but like Nene is right. Like, y'all went on double dates so before. So what is the issue? Like, what is the issue? So I agree with Nene in that aspect. And then, Nene also made note of the fact that, she said Simon had a birthday party, which I came to the birthday party and everything. So like Nene looked like she was shocked. Like, she's just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe, like, she would tell them that we have issues. You know what I'm saying? And suppose, what I find sort of messy about the situation too, suppose that production company said, you know what, we prefer to keep Porsha, and Nene, you should we no longer want to work with you. Then they're kind of looking at it like, oh my God, like she stopped Nene from getting a bag. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they don't have any major issues. and you're stopping someone's bag out here just because you are lying that you and them have issues when they really don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, people need to be real at the end of the day. And then Nene also said something. So she texts Porsha. So before she came online, she texts Porsha and, pretty much probably told her, like, what's up? Like, what's going on? Like, you and I don't have no issues. And I don't feel like she would have an issue with her if she's able to text her phone. Like, for me, if I have an issue with anyone, they're getting blocked. Like, instantly. Like, we have an issue, we don't talk, we're not cordial. I'm blocking you. Like, what do you need to have my number for? Like, what do you need to be communicating with me for? And then Porsha pretty much, told Nene that she was upset that Nene did not text her, because we all know that, Porsha has filed for divorce from Simon. So Nene is like, Porsha is pretty much upset, like, that Nene did not check up on her to see how she's doing and that sort of thing. But Nene said, you know what, the reason that she never checked up on her, she said, I thought, maybe you and your husband is going through like a rough patch, or it's something that's like temporary where y'all are going to sort of get back together. Because we see social media is a kind of way where people introduce their relationships, and then sometimes, when they are no longer together, or they break up with each other, they start throwing shade at each other online. But then sometimes it's temporary, and then you see, before you know it, the next like few weeks or few months, they're back at it again, kikiing. So I kind of get what Nene is saying at the end of the day. Like, I didn't want to, pry and be nosy. And she did, in fact, say, like, she didn't want to be, nosy and pry into her business or invade her privacy. She thought, she's like, you and your husband were just in Dubai laughing and kikiing. So I thought this was temporary. So, why would I think, in a million years that you were going to file for divorce? And I agree with her. Like, we see Porsha. I was shocked when I actually think, like, and I still kind of think like it's probably for a storyline, because they were so happy together. Like, unless if they were just putting on a show and just pretending, which, a lot of people do sometimes. But, like, Nene on a whole felt like it was not serious that they actually broke up with each other. But then other people are coming online and they're calling Nene, messy. They're saying that, perhaps like the real reason Porsha does not want to work with her, because maybe, Simon, allegedly has like a side chick that, he's had, or, recently, because him and Porsha have, separated. He We see that, Simon is trolling online too. And I even seen recently, Simon posted some other woman on his Instagram, and, a number of outlets, already took that story, and, it's being spread online already. But Nene Nene was a lot of people are saying she's kind of messy too, because she recently, it looked like she went on a double date with, Simon and his alleged side chick, or his friend. Nene went on a date with her boyfriend and Simon, and the girl. Or so I'm just like, maybe that's, people are alluding to the fact that maybe that's why, Porsha is upset. They're feeling like, okay, if that's your friend, or if you care about Porsha, like, why are you, sort of hanging out with her ex-husband, and, him doing his shenanigans? Like, why are you, sort of condoning that and that type of thing? But at the end of the day, we can't tell people who to be friends with and who not to be friends with. And then Nene is also mentioning the fact that, Simon was her friend from before. As she said, she went to his birthday party, they went on double dates, and I think Nene's boyfriend is also a friend of Simon as well. So at the end of the day, is she supposed to get involved and pick sides, and that sort of thing? Especially if, they work out their differences later on. Like, when people are going through things, you don't have to bash the other person, but it doesn't mean that you have to stop talking or being friends with who you want to be friends with. People shouldn't be able to dictate who we should talk to and who we shouldn't talk to. But I feel like, Porsha, obviously she's rich, she's been on a number of, she has a number of business ventures. She's been on Housewives and that sort of thing. But like, I feel like she should have stayed on that show with Nene and make that bag. Like, you're going through a separation. A separation is very costly. Money has to be spent. So, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, be a professional, and, just keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? But, Porsha has been super quiet online. She's been going out. I think she took some couple of pictures going out with her friends, and she's appearing to be happy and living her life. But I feel like Simon is wicked. Like Simon has been trolling and constantly putting different things. People are even saying like when he was with Porsha, he did not post this much. But he's hurt. Like when people are hurt, they post and they post. But one thing I did not agree with the fact that Nene is upset. Nene is so shady. Nene goes, Porsha, you are not a star. And, she was pretty much telling her, like, she is mainly like, I guess, like a reality TV that like that's her whole image. Like she's nothing more than just reality TV. She was sort of saying that. And I feel like, yes, you're upset that, she went behind your back and said that she didn't want to work with you and that she lied and that sort of thing and said you guys had issues. But to say she's not a star, like, come on now. Come on now, Nene. Like, get it together. You're being shady. And I'm going to say it as it is. I love Nene. I feel like Nene is just a vibe. But sometimes you have to tell people the truth. And I feel like, regardless of if she did that to you, don't say she's not a star. Because I feel like Porsha has good charisma. I feel like she's a star as well, just as Nene is a star, in my personal opinion. But that's my whole take on the whole situation. I feel like Porsha did not have to stop the bag and pull out from the show. I felt like Nene could have spoke to her even more privately and mentioned to her like this is the situation, this is how I felt, I didn't like that you did this and that sort of thing, without coming online and airing how she felt about what Porsha did to her. But it's entertainment and we're here for it, and without these type of things happening or occurring, we wouldn't get content. And we want to keep everything spicy, and we love these little dramas that unfold. But at the end of the day, I feel like they should hash it out, and hopefully we'll see like what happens with the friendship, if they will ever speak with each other again, or this is like at the end of them speaking with each other. Let me know in the comment section below, what is your thoughts on the whole situation? Do you feel like Simon is trolling? Do you feel like Nene was in the wrong to come online and talk about this? Do you feel that Nene should be hanging out with Simon and his little shenanigans and double dating with him? Just let me know your thoughts, guys. But that's all for today for All Kinds of Advice podcast, and I'll catch y'all on the next episode. Take care. Ciao. Hey, hey.